All right, so the next thing I want to do is redo this editor so that we have a place to do pseudocode and view the problem, because I want to create more of a roadmap blueprint for how to actually solve these problems now, and then have Elliot over here be able to have the context awareness of it. So yeah, so basically now that we can generate a problem and he has a high level view of what's going on over here, I want to make this a little bit more customized to how I want to solve problems. So yeah, starting with like splitting this editor up either vertically or horizontally to, yeah, basically have a place to have the problem, and then a place to do pseudocode, and then a place to actually transcribe the pseudocode into syntax. Yeah, that is kind of the general idea. Cool. Okay, let's get this started. Ask. We'll need the hook. We'll need the route for the API. What else? Need the code editor. We'll start with that. I want to make the editor view more customized to how I like to solve these technical problems. I like to start with pseudocode and then a place to transcribe into syntax. I also have this idea that you could do like a rubber duck, and you could just like do it, something even before you write the pseudocode. If you didn't want to chat with the if you didn't want to chat with Elliot and you just wanted to like rubber duck, kind of just speak out loud the problem and then have it transcribe it and then summarize it and help you come up with pseudocode first. If you need like a pre-processing step, which I probably will. That was an idea I had. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Essentially, Elliot is the rubber duck. So, but this Elliot can actually guide and teach, whereas the rubber duck is just there to talk to. Okay, let's see what we get. Enhanced code editor. What you gonna do for me? All right. Split view. Okay. Yeah, so I think it kind of knew what I wanted. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is rad. Okay. Nice. God, it'd almost be cool to have it like be able to kind of auto fill in some of this stuff. I don't know. We'll keep it really manual and then implement below. Okay, that's pretty cool. I want to test this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have these steps for FizzBuzz here, and the actual code is right here. Okay. And now let's see if Elliot actually can tell me what's going on here.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey Elliot, can you see my editor?
Yes, I can see your editor. You've got a classic FizzBuzz solution there. Looks like solid work. I can see you're looping through numbers 1 to 100, checking for multiples of 3 and 5, and printing fizz, buzz, or fizzbuzz accordingly. How are you feeling about this code? Are you looking to work on something new, or would you like to explore variations of this problem? I could suggest some interesting twists on
Yeah, I believe
fizzbuzz.
you. Hey, can you see the pseudocode and planning text that I have?
I can only see what's in your Python editor right now. The fizzbuzz code you wrote.
Okay,
I don't have access to.
so he can't see my pseudocode. Okay, cool. So let's fix that. I need the chat assistant context aware for the I need the chat assistant context awareness for the pseudocode container to be connected to VAPI. Some prompts are better than others. I still feel like a moron when I prompt into this thing out loud. Thank God I can do this in the privacy of my own home. All right. Cool. Let's see if it likes us. Oh, and then we have to update the page. I wonder why. Oh, and now this too. We're just doing a big old refactor. The project's getting pretty close to being done though, and I'm getting closer to wanting to finish it. So I have a couple ideas in terms of how I want to find the finish line with this thing. One of them's a simple version, one of them's a more complex version. We'll see what I feel like. I have two different solutions in mind, and we'll have to just see what happens. One thing I haven't ever pointed out that's pretty rad with cursor is that when you do the apply, it has like this it has this ability to see this like notification in the comment and not print that or refactor it or do anything. So it um, kind of helps just like merge in this code better because if the code doesn't need to be touched, then it doesn't. And that's super appreciated. So yeah, let's give this a shot. Like a lot of the time the comment will be like code remains the same below, and that's some sort of like internal triggering for cursor to be able to apply and merge the new code in. Code editor, here we go, let's see. Okay, it likes us there. What did it have to do in here? Let's find out. So the dashboard has this, okay, so we added some use state to the pseudocode. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, here we go. It's so cool. So the context injection is written right here. So that's how Elliot can keep on track, so to speak. Okay, here we go. Oh, cool, that fixed something. Okay, added on pseudocode change prop and use effect to pass pseudocode to parent. Cool. Added user pseudocode state and handle pseudocode change function to pass to both the tutor chat. Cool. Tutor chat. Now when you use the voice chat, the AI system will have full context awareness of the pseudocode planning and the Python implementation, allowing for more meaningful conversations about your problem-solving approach. Thank you. Okay, let's rattle this one off. What do we got? Cool. That's a good start. Let's start from the top. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, what's up, Elliot? I want to get into FizzBuzz.
Hey there, FizzBuzz is a classic. Great choice to start with. Let's work on a beginner logic problem. FizzBuzz. Here's what we need to do.
Okay, let's see if we can get it. Okay, so that broke. Yeah, we need to get a better. You know what? I want to fix that. I want to do kind of like how in cursor, how we do this apply. Right? I want to have basically that same concept where we can get a response back and then press reply, which will then trigger the merge of that context string into another view. So, yeah, that's what we want to do. But I want to be able to do it verbally somehow. So we need to figure out a way to like start the conversation, get through the figuring out stages of what problem we're going to do, and then have Elliot be able to kind of lead the conversation to a point of asking if we would like to pursue that question. But I'd like to do this in like 3 steps. Okay, so that sounds like a decent idea. Okay. So let's save this for now. Okay. What the fuck did we just do? Added pseudocode. How the fuck do you spell pseudocode? Yeah, I knew that was wrong. We actually didn't test it fully, but whatever. I Actually, I am curious about that. Let's try that real quick. So here's some pseudocode. Actually, let's just try it like this because it should know.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot, can you see the pseudocode that I got up here and here?
Yes, I can see your pseudocode. You've got a great plan laid out for the classic FizzBuzz problem. I can see you're thinking through it step by step. Loop from 1 to 100. Check if divisible by both 3 and 5. FizzBuzz. Check if divisible by just 3 on Fizz. Check if divisible by just 5. Buzz. Otherwise, just print the number. Your logic is spot on. Now, let's turn that pseudocode into Python. Do you want to start coding this up? We can work through it together. Maybe start with setting up the loop and then tackle the conditional logic.
That's pretty fucking awesome. That's a good start. I mean, I could stop right here and get a lot out of this thing. I mean, some of it's janky as fuck looking, but whatever. Does this work? Oh, fuck yeah, look at that. Clear the pseudocode. Control Z, nope. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to the original idea of the question, initialization. Okay. Here we go. I want to be able to have the chat start and have the user talk to the assistant VAPI to be able to come up with a Python problem and have the assistant finalize the conversation with a yes or no for the user to agree to do that problem. Have the yes or no click action process the conversation and create the rendering of the problem in the UI. Hoo-wee, let's see what we get. If this gets pulled off, this will be fucking sick. Let's see what happens. I'm curious, I have to redo the prompt in the VAPI dashboard. Yes, let's do it. No, let's adjust. This shit's funny. This thing's sick. I'm actually kind of hyped on this thing. Okay, let's look at this thing while it prints. So, it's pretty cool. This looks like shit. When I press, yeah, like this.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding
That
tutor.
looks like shit. What else? You're like, everything looks like shit. Yeah, the clear doesn't work. That'd be cool to have. Get feedback isn't necessary. What else? This should be collapsible. Hide chat actually needs to be closed chat. Actions, create problem from current chat. We can keep that in there in case we need to manually create the chat. I mean the problem. This is cool. Oh, she's still a printing. Give me that good print. All right. All right. Yeah, the tutor chat is just so long. What do we got a problem here? Has a missing something or other. Has a missing dependency. Okay, let's see what happens. Start a voice chat. Discuss the problem. Assistant confirms. User clicks yes or no. Problem generated. This would be so sick if this works. Conversation flow detection. It's also good to read this so that way you can get the way they're writing this up. I like to read it because it helps with my future prompting vocabulary. Conversation flow detection. Function detects when the assistant is asking for user agreement. Patterns like, would you like to work on this problem? Trigger confirmation mode. Yes. Okay, cool. Appear automatically when assistant asks for confirmation. Oh, this might be pretty dynamic. Okay, cool. Enhanced chat button. Added show confirmation prop to display buttons. Okay. Handle confirm problem. Triggers when yes is clicked. Processes the full conversation to create a structured problem. Injects conversation into voice chat for seamless flow. Okay, this has me curious. Let's see. Wait. Okay. So I'm just curious how many steps it's going to take before we get to the yes or no. Okay, let's see what we get. Jeez. God, I hate this. There is a way to do it, like, okay. Replace with appos. See, at least that's pretty good. Can't hate on that. Yeah, sure. Where is this? Okay. Does not exist on type chat bubble message. I know we already did that. I think it's index. Okay. We'll come back to that shit. There we go. Okay, you know what? Fix with AI. And it still broke. Okay, reject that. Escape. Save. Where are you? I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be index. There you go. Okay. Let's see this fucking thing. All right. Oh man, it fucking changed my shit. Okay. All right, this might be cool. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey Elliot, I want to do a Python problem. Let's do a beginner one.
Hey there, great to meet you. I'd love to help you with a beginner Python problem. Let's work on a beginner basics problem. FizzBuzz. Here's what we need to do. Write a program that prints numbers from 1 to 100.
No,
but for multiples of
I don't want to do FizzBuzz.
No problem at all. Let me suggest something different. Let's work on a beginner strings problem. Reverse a string. Here's what we need to do. Write a function that takes a string as input and returns it reversed. For example, if we pass in hello, it should return ole. Does this sound good to work on, or would you prefer a different type of problem?
Let me hear one more.
Sure, let's work on a beginner loops problem. Count vowels. Here's what we need to do. Write a function that counts how many vowels A, E, I, O, U are in a given string. For example, if we have hello world, now it should return 3 because there's E, O, and O. Does this one sound more interesting to you?
Yes, let's do that one.
Great choice. Let's dive into the vowel counting problem. So we need to write a function that counts vowels in a string. Let's start by thinking about this step by step. First, what do you think we'll need to do? We'll need to go through each character in the string and check if it's a vowel, right? Why don't you start by creating a function called count vowels that takes a string as a parameter?
That's pretty sick. So the problem is that it's print. We don't want it to go there. Well, I guess we could. I want the problem to be here. I want a pseudocode here. And yeah, you know what? I want two columns, and then I want to be able to see the problem really, really clearly up here. As well, he didn't, none of that shit worked. So, right? I was not, okay. I want the, it's 2 to 3 chat prompts at max. Let's see if we can control that. I was also trying to test the length of the chat and if I wanted to like not do a problem a couple times. I also kind of wanted to see if I like overlooked something and maybe it like had fizzbuzz like hard coded. Um, so I don't think it does. Uh, but it looked like it was all coming from Anthropic. So when I mean Anthropic, I mean Anthropic Claude from VAPI because that's where that's coming from. So the processing is happening where we have VAPI set up, and then the transcription of everything is getting processed through Claude that we have set up as another layer. Okay. Yeah, I also need to put a place where I need to create the layout better. For now, we'll just have it populate that container. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see. Conversation tracking. Okay, cool. So it adds like an array of like words to check. That's cool. We're gonna look at that. That sounds fun. Okay, hold on. Where does it say like sounds good? Yup. Shit like that. Okay, conversation messages or somewhere. Hold on. Okay, I think it's up more. Yeah, here we go. So this is the array of confirmation patterns. So it's indexing vocabulary words that a person would most likely use to interact with this domain use case. So yeah, pretty funny. I've had to do this a little bit, and the concept of like indexing humanity or different segments of humanity, like language, is actually at the core of why I'm pretty fascinated with what AI can do. I have some pretty wild ideas in terms of what I want to try coming up. So I just wanted to do this Python one because I thought it'd be a fun way to start the channel, and get my toes wet. So yeah, let's see what we get. If I can get Elliot to Texas string. Okay. Cool. And then update the VAPI hook. Okay. What did it add? Chat history. True. Add this to encourage faster confirmation. Cool. Oh, quick mode. Okay. I don't need an exact exchange count in the header. Like, why would I need that? I mean, let's see it. It's so fucking stupid. Okay, here we go. Exchange counter. I don't need to fucking know how many times we're talking. Okay, let's try it.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot, let's come up with a Python problem for me to do as a beginner.
Hey there, great to meet you. I'd love to help you practice some Python. Let's work on a beginner strings problem. Character counter. Here's what we need to do. Write a function that takes a string and returns how many times each character appears in it. For example, if we have hello, we'd return something like H, or E, 1, L, 2, O, 1. This is perfect for practicing loops, dictionaries, and string manipulation, all fundamental Python concepts. Does this sound good to start with, or would you prefer something different?
Yes, let's do this one.
Perfect. Let's dive into the character counter problem. So you'll want to create a function that takes a string as input and returns a dictionary, where each character is a key and it's counted as the value.
Okay, so I didn't get my yes or no button. Does this work? That's still tight. I mean, it broke this, but okay. Um, that didn't work. This is so funny. I still need to trigger the chat panel to render the buttons when the what was it called? The aggressive confirmation common phrases are detected. Okay, let's see. You're right. The confirmation state gets directly when phrases are detected in the voice message. Okay, so we got the confirmation state gets correctly set. Okay, please do. Elliot's still talking way too much. It's pretty sick though. I mean, how many hours are we at on this thing? Like 4 or 5? Huh, it's coming along. Yeah, this is like a voice to form, which I've kind of messed around with before. I mean, in theory, if we really wanted to get automated, we could just have it trigger that yes or no way more deliberately and not even have to press a button. But I don't know. Okay. Oh, you asshole. Didn't, it bugged out. Now I can't apply it. So I got to make sure it's the full file to be able to just copy and paste in there. And it looks like it is. So yeah, we're good. Okay. Let's try this. Dude, I can't even fucking do all that. We might be in the woods on this one. I don't know. Might have to back up a little bit. Okay. Maybe if it fixes the apostrophes this time, it won't keep doing it. I still think that's pretty sick. Yeah, I like just watching it do its thing. Yeah, there's so much going on here. Like I wouldn't be able to fucking figure this out without AI. I don't know. This would take a long, long time. If you can write shit this good and make it work, fucking A. Let me know how. I'm sure there's people that are. There's definitely people that are capable of making dope shit without any of this automation. Dude, this is a long ass fucking file. We're gonna have to do something about this one. I can't just sit here and watch this thing print for fucking 20 minutes. Okay, here we go. It's probably still gonna have errors too, which is gonna be the funny part. Oh, that was rad. I mean, that's why cursor's badass. I mean, fucking A. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Now you got me skeptical. I was hyped and curious. Now I'm skeptical and curious, which is pretty much equally motivating. Because it's nice to be proven wrong. So let's give this a shot. All right, AI Tutor. Got some funky test stuff right there. Like, why? Why do I need that?
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot, give me a really easy Python problem to do real quick.
Great. Let's start with something simple to warm up. Let's work on an easy strings problem. Reverse a string. Here's what we need to do. Write a function that takes a string and returns it reversed. For example, if we pass in hello, it should return ole. If we pass in Python, it should return naughty p. This is perfect for practicing basic string manipulation, and there are actually a few different ways to solve it in Python. Does this sound good to start with?
Yes, let's do this one.
Perfect. Go ahead and start coding in the editor. Think about how you want to approach this. You could use Python's built-in string slicing, or maybe a loop, or even some built-in functions. Start by defining a function that takes a string as a parameter. What do you want?
Okay, so that didn't work. Message received. Okay. But I want to know. Okay, what the fuck's going on? Why? I need to have a more. I need to have him be more definitively concise, to the point, and clearly ending his response, because I need to be able to stop him before I can process it. Hmm. Okay, let's see if we can kind of clear that up. I need the assistant to be more concise, to the point, and very defined conclusions to ask if the user would want to view the suggested problem. When that is rendered, stop the chat, pause the chat, I mean, pause the chat, and render the yes or no button for the user to choose, and then populate the editor if user chooses yes. Okay. I mean, that's just my instinct. I don't know. I mean, there's probably a way to really get it wild and have the ability to process it and keep the live chat going and then inject the chat UI to have the yes or no in there. That's a lot more shit than I want to try and figure out. So right now we can pause it. We can't do it async. Sorry. At least, I don't know. We could try. Fuck it. This seems like it makes sense to me. We're already pausing it and then reconnecting it. So I don't see why this would be any different. Cool. Yeah. People screaming. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but yeah, I got people screaming. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got. Cool. Added, okay, new API mode. Added problem discussion mode, strict rules for concise responses, specific confirmation detection, auto parse, visual indicators, yo, sizing, okay. Problem gets populated in editor when yes is clicked. Okay. Do I need to update the VAPI dashboard prompt at all? Keep forgetting about that. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. Why did it say perfect? Try twosome. Oh, example response. Okay. Instructions, user code, problem title. Okay. Why this dynamic control? The instructions variable allows the React app to modify the assistant's behavior. Okay. Okay, let's do that real quick. I will do this off camera. We need to bring in the current one. This is the current VAPI prompt. Oh, yeah, I don't have the instructions in here. Um, okay, well, let's do that. I've never seen it have to do that instructions variable. Okay, it's been updated. Cool. Um, Okay. Okay, let's change the code out. Yeah, I didn't think it was very needed for VAPI. I think it was more, um, it's more programmatic. It's all in our code. Okay, I've read this before. Okay, cool. So this is the instructions. You're a concise coding tutor. Yes. Trying to suggest a specific problem. Always end your problem with suggestion with, should I create this problem for you? Exactly. Okay, cool. This sounds promising. Okay, we added some stuff to the overrides. Functions that isn't being used. Let's send it. Fuck it. Here we go. Let's see what's going on in the terminal. All right, hard refresh. Let's see what we get. That's not fun. All right, just for now.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot, give me a good Python problem.
What's your experience level with Python? Are you more interested in working with data structures like lists and dictionaries, or algorithms like searching and sorting?
Let's do like
Let's work.
iterating over an array.
Perfect. Let's work on a medium arrays problem. Product of array except self. Here's what we need to do. Given an array of numbers, return a new array where each element is the product of all numbers in the original array except the one at that position. For example, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we'd return 24, 12, 8, 6. Does this sound good to
Yes.
start with?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me create this problem for you. Medium arrays. Problem. Product of array except self, given an array of integers.
So it's not rendering. There's like a dependency array or something going on. Okay, so the chat progressive loading broke and isn't rendering anymore, but the prompt is working. I think. So yeah, the fact that it asked me, that if I wanted to do that or whatever the sentence is that triggers it. I don't think I've ever really like fine-tuned VAPI to like try and get him to um, have a limit on his behavior. Usually, I just kind of set the context lengths for the responses to be shorter or a certain tone or something, but never like real direct instructions like by the third response, I need you to say this to trigger another use case feature, like a yes or no question. It's pretty versatile. Yeah, my head's gonna actually be thinking on that one. Shit, I'm tripping on that right now, actually. You got VAPI with like with certain restrictions and requirements. It's pretty good. Seems like the main methodologies is like uh, context history and context injection is kind of what it's doing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got some console login. What else? Okay, fix progressively. Okay, yeah, let's see if this actually renders now. What was hilarious is that like what 30 minutes an hour ago I was like, yeah, this should be sick. Let's see if it works. It's like an hour later, 20 iterations later. Okay, let's give this a shot. Hard refresh. Okay, let's try this. It's just gonna glitch on me. Jesus. Yeah, I'm getting a mad dependency array. Okay, so we'll just send it anyways.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey Ellie, give me a good Python problem for a beginner.
Hi there. What kind of coding have you done before? Any Python experience or completely new to programming?
Huh, still not working. That has to be why it was breaking. Something with the dependency array wasn't allowing for it to render. All right, let's see what we get. I do believe. All right, fixed dependency array. Gotta believe that it is capable of this. I've seen it do crazier. Stay patient. We'll see what we get. So sick. Okay. Separated concerns, better message IDs. Okay, let's see what we get. There's no promises here. This is me very much so just winging it. See what that does. No. Okay, let's send it. I don't want to delete that and deal with it. Okay. All right. Is our dependency array still going? Yep. Okay. Jesus fuck. Okay.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey Elliot, how's it going? Can you give me a real easy Python problem?
Hey, going great, thanks. I see you're starting fresh. That's perfect. What kind of problems interest you? Are you looking to practice basics like loops and conditionals, or maybe work with strings or lists? Let's work on an easy strings problem.
Okay,
Reverse
let's
a
do
word.
that.
Let's work on an easy strings problem. Reverse a word. Here's what we need to do. Take a word as input and return it reversed. For example, if the input is hello, we'd return ole. Does this sound good?
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Dude, we got it to guide it to a yes or no. Fuck yes. Okay. Fuck yes. Okay. Okay. We got it in there. Reverse word up there. Dude, I know it's janky. We can restylize that. Trust me. That's why we create a branch for a reason. And we can fix the dependency array. Shit yeah. Who? Fuck yeah. Okay. Uh let's see if we can pick it back up.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey Elliot, so now that we've created the problem, can you tell me what to do?
Perfect. Now let's implement the reverse word function. You need to take the input string and return it reversed. Start by thinking about your approach. Will you use string slicing, a loop, or built-in methods? Try writing some pseudocode first, then implement it. What's your initial idea for reversing the string?
Dude, fuck yeah. That's so badass. It did the yes or no. Oh, and the, is it broken? Yeah, it's broke as fuck. Okay, well, the functionality's there. That, now we're getting somewhere. I'm hyped. That was sick. Okay, so we had a little conversation. It said yes or no. Anthropic processed it, populated over here. We picked up where we left off because it paused it. And then the context awareness was still intact. So at that point, a user would then, yeah, code their little happy hearts out. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty rad. Let's save that. Um, feature, happy assistant, problem. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm going to take a break and come back to this.